Good morning and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. This is just going to be a quick tutorial on showing how to add a picture to money as well as change the color. I saw a request in one of the groups I'm a part of, so this is just a quick aid to help someone out. So first of all, I'm going to click here to make a fresh sheet. I went to the internet already and I put in high-res $1,000 bill, but you can do it with any of the bills. And I found this one, and it needs to be pink for the person that is making a money party. So I'm going to first change the color, even though it's mostly in black and white. I'm going to make it completely black and white so that I can change the color of it. So I'm going to go to here to paint and color effects. You get a menu that comes up here when you're using the software that you're not seeing because of the recorder that I'm using for my screen. But I will let you know which box to choose. You're going to choose the last box on the bottom. It's two on the bottom. One is a pink starfish and the other is a black and white, and it says black and white under it. You're going to click black and white. It's going to bring you to this page. Then you're going to click make black and white to make the whole picture black and white. Now the reason why I didn't change the color with this still green, because once you change it to pink, this would have been a weird combination of green and pink. So now the whole thing will just be a nice, crisp, fresh color of pink rather than crazy combinations of colors mixed together. So anytime you're going to change a color of something, always make it black and white first. Okay, we're going to hit done. I'm going to go to cutout and pictures. You get a menu here. You're going to go click this first one that says cutout of picture. Then you're going to choose cookie cutter shape. You're going to click to change it to the circle. Shrink it down a little bit and zoom in. You can zoom in by rolling on your mouse, or you can zoom in by clicking here where it has the magnifying glasses. One says plus, one says minus. So just click in close enough so that you can get that circle or the oval where you want it. So now you can see the oval has these little quadrant markers, I call them, on every corner and every side. First I'm going to use the side to make it right at the edge of the picture that's already here. I'm going to zoom in some. This is Grover Cleveland. So I'm going to bring it down so that I'm at the bottom right above where it says his name. And then I'm going to go from the sides to bring it in so that I'm getting, I can even go down a little more because I'm going to change that so that you can put the person's name there. And I'm going to bring this over so that I'm getting that whole area, that whole oval. So that looks good. Now I'm going to hit next so I'll see exactly what I have. And I think that circle, that oval will work perfectly. Now I'm going to go here where it says put your cutout in its own picture. I don't want it to go to another page. I want to keep it here. So I'm going to click to take that check mark out. Now whatever you're seeing boldly is what you're keeping, but I want to get rid of him and keep the background. So you're going to go right here to select opposite area, hit done, and then I'm going to delete the one on the bottom by going here to the layers on the right hand side. I'm going to left click the bottom one, then right click it and choose delete. So now I have my open space here. Next I want to put a little box here for the person's name to be added. You see they have it in really thin letters. You can make it bigger. I'll make a little bigger box, or you can look up a custom scroll. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to go to the internet right quick. You won't see it, but I'm going to just go and click and find a custom scroll to put at the bottom of that. But I'm just typing in scroll. I'm just going to type in scroll clip art. And I always like to start mine with high res for high resolution so that I'll get the highest resolution pictures that are on the internet. So I actually typed in high res scroll clip art. I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to look through click on images once it brings up the images, and I'm just going to look through here until I find one that I like, and then I will copy it I'll click on it to open it up, then I'll right click and hit copy to copy it, and I'll bring it into picture it and paste it. I'm going to open up a new page just so nothing will happen to that one, and I clicked right here on this blank page. I'm going to click paste. This one is gold, but I'm going to make it black and white like the other one. So I'm going to go to cut out in picture, cut out of picture, which is the first choice on the top row, and this time I'm going to choose by color selection. I'm going to leave it on 2 for now and see if it's going to get just what I want, and I'm going to click on the white background, and as you can see, it basically outlined that white square or the white rectangle that was around the scroll. I'm going to click next, and once again this is dull, but this is what I want to keep, so I'm going to change it to select opposite area. Hit done, and I'm going to once again delete that bottom row. If you don't delete that bottom row, when you go to move this to the new page, it would still have that white box around it. Now I'm going to cut around this one more time because sometimes it will leave a residual box, like I'll show you here, see if it's there. No, it didn't do it this time, so I don't have to cut. So I just I put a shadow around there by going to Special Effects. I chose Shadow, which is the middle choice on the top row. And then once in there, I chose Soft Shadow, and it put a soft shadow all the way around it. I'll show you when I take it off. You see the shadow disappear. Click shadows there, and then if you want to make that shadow more pronounced, you just have to click on any one of these corners to bring that shadow out some, but I don't really want it out. I just wanted to see if that box was going to still show. So now I'm going to go back to my money. I'm going to switch to it, and remember what I said before about I'm going to bring this up from the bottom by left clicking on it, dragging it up, and dropping it. And now I'm going to change this to black and white the same way I did with this one. I'm going to go to paint and paint and color effects. I'm going to go to the bottom, the last choice, which is black and white, and then I'm going to click the black and white apple. So now I've changed it so that I can use this scroll at the bottom instead of the one they had, in case you want to make her name even more pronounced. I'm going to zoom in, shrink this down some so it'll fit better underneath this picture. Oops. And I'm just making sure to cover up where it said Grover, and I'm going to just pull this out a little bit, and so that it will cover up that bottom portion that had Grover Cleveland's name. And now I want to brighten this up some so that when I put the name on here, it'll be very clear to see. So I'm going to go to Paint and Color Effect. I'm going to go to Change Color, which is the second to last choice here on the bottom in this menu. And now I'm just going to brighten that up. If it's already bright and looks like it's already as bright as it could be, there's another way to brighten it. So I'm going to go ahead and click done out of that. While it's still chosen, you'll see the little coupon marker or lines around it. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to Touch Up and Brightness and Contrast. And now I can use the brightness little slide to brighten that up. And I just took it over to 30, but you can either click up and down on these sidebars, or you can just use the slider to get it to the brightness that you want it. So I don't want it that bright. I'll take it down a little bit. Yeah, that's 20. Well, no, I think I like 30 better. So I'll take it back to 30 this time using the click. And now I have the scroll here. Now I'll add my name so you'll know how to add the person you need to add. I'm going to click on text, add text, and this looks like it's mostly Times font, New Times font. So right here is where you change the font, and It will, I have fonts on my computer, some the new ones that I've added. When you click here, you will only see the fonts that are on your software and also the ones that come inside of Microsoft Picture. So you might not see the same ones that I have here, but I'm going to scroll down, or I can just type a T, click on the box and type a T, and it'll take me to the T's, and then I can scroll down without having to go through the whole list. Find New Roman. I'm going to click here to change it to black, and I'm going to type my name, which is Harriet. I'm going to do it in all caps because I think it looks better like that. Now I want to put it on that scroll, but as you can see, the writing is straight and I need it to curve so that it will look like it actually belongs on this scroll here. So I'm going to click on Apply Special Effect, Bend Text, and then you can see it has some pre-bends, but I'm going to use a pre-bend to start, and then I'll just alter it a bit to the bend that I want. So now I'm just going to use these up and down arrows, or you can do the slider. Sorry about the noise over here. Cars are playing on the road evidently. So I'm going to click up to make the curve go in the opposite direction. I know it sounds odd, but to curve it, start to reduce that upward curve, I'm actually pressing the up button. And if you're curving in the opposite direction and you want to reduce the curve going down, you would click on the down arrow. So I'm just going to put that there, and if you need to adjust it, you can always go back in and adjust it. If you notice you didn't do it enough or it needs to be curved a little more or less, just go back in there by right clicking, choosing once again the bend text, and then adjusting it. Okay, so now I think I'm going to lighten up the scroll a little bit more to make my name a little more visible. So I'm going back to Paint and Color Effects, change color. Oh, that's the one I didn't want to use. I'm going to go back to Touch Up, Brightness and Contrast, and then I'll just brighten it up a little more in there so that my name pops more. And I'm just clicking on the up arrow, and that looks good. You can see it clearly. If I wanted to, I could put a little shadow behind that, but I won't for now. Alright, so I have everything set up like I want it. Now I need to just change the color. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to drag from the top left corner to the top right. You can do it from either side, and I'm going to group those so that all that will be one piece. Click No. There's a screen that pops up when you're first using software, and it'll say, if you apply this effect and then you ungroup, you'll lose the effect. I always click Don't Show This Again, no. And because I want to make this one piece, I'm going to just crop this out so that I won't have, you see when I click on it, it has the puzzle piece. I just want to make this one graphic by itself with all these additions that I've made. So I'm going to go to Cut Out and Picture, Cut Out of Picture with a cookie cutter shape, which is the last choice, and I'm going to make it a square. Oops, I'm going to click back. I didn't click out, otherwise I would have just chopped out that little area. And now I'm just going to resize this so that it has the whole bill. Just like that. Hit next and done. And once again, I'm going to delete the bottom one. Now if you want to save this to use again, you should save it first as a Picture It file by going to File, Save As, and it will say, I can do it, show you right quickly. You go to File, Save As. It's already in Picture It format. You just give it a name like Money Master or Money Template, and then save it to whatever folder you want to. But I'm not going to save it because I guess I could have, but didn't. All right, so now you're ready to change this to pink. So I'm going to go to Paint. First, I'm going to go to Touch Up, Correct Tint, and this color wheel, you can change it to any color you want, and within those colors up to like a million colors. So first I'm going to choose the hue that's closest to what I'm trying to get, which you want a pink, so I'm going to put it right there, and then I'm going to slowly drag this over a little bit, because if you drag it too much it takes the features away, and you don't want it to take the features away because it makes it too bold. So just slowly go over until it gets to about the the shade, somewhere within the shade that you're looking to make. And I think this is close to it, and then I'll take it back into the other color effects to fine tune it. So I'm going to leave it about right there for now. Now I'm going to go back to paint and color effects, change color. You don't want to choose fill with a solid color because it'll just make the whole thing red. So I'm going to choose change color, and then in here I can enhance it, the saturation, by clicking up on this where you have this blue paint swatch. If you roll over that, it will say color saturation, and then I'm just going to click up on that until I get that color where I want it. And as you see, when I increase the saturation here, it's not taking the features away like the other one did, not as much. And then you can also brighten or darken it. If you wanted it to be a darker pink, you can go down, click down on this black and white swatch, which makes it darker or lighter. And then to do the absolute fine tuning, you can go here to the fine tune with the rainbow color here. It fine tunes it, and then if that's not the right pink, you just move it more toward the orange if you want like a pastel-y kind of pink, or if you want like a hot pink or a magenta, you would move it more towards the purple. So from the colors, I think you were about right in here, but like I said, you can adjust that any way you want. Now lastly, to add the picture, I'm going to find, get one of my pictures off of Facebook right quickly. You right click the copy and then come back, and I'm just going to paste it in. And I don't even have to, I could crop out this background if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to move it in and then resize it. So I'm just going to sit it basically where I want it. Then I'm going to drag it down one layer, and just using the corners, I'm pulling it up so you can see, only use the corners whenever you want something to stay in the right proportion, and you always want photos to stay in the right proportion. Only resize from the corner. So I'm going to move this back down to where it was, and this is the back arrow. So if you make a mistake, just click that back arrow and it'll take you one step back, or you can click, I think, up to about 10 or 11 back. So I'm just going to shrink that down until I can fit myself into that spot on the money. And even though if you want, if I don't want my hair, my whole hairstyle in there, I can move it in a bit, and even though that's white, I'll show you how to fill that in. So alright, I have my picture in there. I'm gonna turn it a little bit so it's straight. By clicking on this ball, you can position it any way you want. I'm going to move it back down and straighten it again. And you see I left that white area at the top, and I don't want that white area. So I'm going to show you an easy way to get rid of that. I'm going to go to cutout and picture. I'm going to go to the third choice at the top, add a colored shape, move it down a bit. Then I'm going to click here on more color choices, and it turns into a dropper, and I'm just going to click on this beige that's right above my head so that I can match this piece to that. I'm going to hit done and done, and I'm going to drag that down 3 layers or to the very back by clicking on it, clicking on the beige picture here on the right hand panel, layers panel, and I'm just going to click it with my left mouse, hold it, and drag it down until it's under my picture. And I'm going to resize it a little bit because I don't need it this big. And as you can see, I just moved it up in that area, and it filled in the rest of that beige, the rest of that white that I didn't want there in the first place. And you have your bill. Hope this has been helpful to you. Once again, you're watching Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you'd like, and don't forget to hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of new tutorials the minute I have them up. Also, the software that I'm using to design, they no longer sell it, so I made a copy of mine and I make it available as a free download for anyone who wants to use it to follow along with my tutorials. So if you'd like the software, just send me a message and I'll inbox it to you with instructions on exactly how to install the software. And you'll need to follow those instructions from start to finish, and it only works on Windows computers. If you'd like that software, just inbox me and I will send it out to you. Hope that's been useful to you. Have a good day.